All right, this video um, is to just show you how to have a successful tour. So I'm just gonna, here we just have a Microsoft Word document. I'm not actually gonna show you any websites or anything, but I do want to go over how to have a successful tour. So I'm just gonna write up a few bullet points of things that are important. So the first thing about how to have a successful tour, first off, you are going to want to get the tour. So that will primarily be the sign that you have out front, passing out your business cards, and then lots and lots of posting ads online through Zillow, Craigslist, and apartments.com. So first off, you have to get the tour. Okay, that's going to be the sign out front, online ads via Zillow, Craigslist, and apartments.com. And you're going to want to make sure you check your email, including your spam folder, and these websites daily, every single day, to make sure, because sometimes the websites will contact you if you've received an interested renter and sometimes they don't. So check those daily, okay? So once you've got the phone call, all right, you've received the phone call, you're going to, you are going to want to schedule the tour. Now, the best way to do that is over the phone. Having a voice-to-voice conversation is the best way to get somebody to commit, and have them come as soon as they possibly can. I don't really like scheduling tours a week out, because by the time that week happens, people's plans come up and things become more important to them than taking a tour. So if someone calls and says, hey, I can be there tonight, or I can be there within the next 24 hours, I would highly recommend scheduling it within the next 24 hours. So schedule within 24 hours. That way you don't lose interest of the renter and they don't have too many things going on. Okay, so 24 hours before the actual tour, you are going to want to walk through the unit. Okay, walk through the unit, open any windows. All right, open windows, check for dust. Okay, turn on lights. Just make sure, check the smell. I'm always weird about smells. When I walk into a place, I can always tell if it's clean or not by how it smells, so check the smell, okay? If you still have a resident living there, but they're going to be moving out, but someone wants to take a tour of it, give the resident 24-hour notice that you will be entering their apartment, okay? All right, so that's 24 hours before the actual tour. Oh, I would also walk the property and make sure nothing is awry on the property, okay? The next thing is 1 hour before the tour, give confirmation, okay? Confirm with the interested renter. I would definitely do that by phone call, or some people prefer to text. So if you want to, you can text them. Make sure they have an updated address, everything like that. I forgot to put on here also 24 hours before the actual tour. Besides just walking through the unit, you are going to want to contact the interested renter. Okay, this is to hold people accountable and to remind them that they have scheduled a tour the next day. So obviously if they call that day and they want a tour for 2 hours from then, you don't need to recontact them. But this is for people who love calling at the beginning of the week and schedule 3 days out or a week out the tour. It's always good to contact them 24 hours before the actual tour to remind them that they have a set appointment. Okay. So this is 1 hour before the tour. Confirm interested renter. I also like to make sure I have all application information printed out so that I have spare copies to hand out. Because there's a chance that they're not the only ones applying. They may have a partner or friend or roommate that will also be applying with them. And there's been times where I have forgotten to have an extra copy, and so I have to scramble to make copies. So make sure that you make copies beforehand so that you always have extras with you. Okay. So with greeting, once they actually show up, greeting and presenting the unit, make sure you get a copy of their driver's license or their ID. You can use a copy machine. It's a lot quicker for me to just take a picture with my phone, or you can use a copy machine. But I always just take a picture with my phone and then automatically email it to myself. And it's just a lot quicker, so I don't have to run back to the office or anything like that. So get a copy of their driver's license, fill out a guest card. Okay, Chuck has those for us. Fill out a guest card with their information. And then, of course, ask the person when they're interested in moving, why they're interested in moving, okay, and what they're looking for in an apartment. Those are very important things. Also, ask the person about themselves, okay, their work, maybe their education, who will be living with them. Just double check all of those things with them. Pay attention to those conversations, and really be engaged with them. When you actually go to present the unit, allow them to take pictures. I have found that the renters or the people who have taken tours that have taken pictures of the unit with their cell phone, it's been more memorable to them. And I always offer to let them take pictures. So I offer and allow them so that they know that that they can always have something to look back on and that tour is more memorable to them. Okay, so allow them to take pictures. They look around the unit. Allow them to open and close faucets, things like that. Then you want to walk the property. Kosei International Properties, our properties are beautiful and have so much to offer as far as scenery, and they're just beautiful and so well taken care of, the grounds, that you want to walk the property. So people know that they're living in a clean, quiet environment. So walk the property. If you have a guest house or a community room, take them to the guest house / community room. Talk about the parties that the owner hosts and provides food for. And talk about the community. Okay, you really want to highlight this place. All right. Also be sure to look professional. Okay. Dress professional, all of that. All right. So, the next thing is follow up. Once the person has left, be sure to follow up. I always follow up within 2 hours, especially if they're interested in an application and they want to fill it out online. I always check in with them within 2 hours with an email. I like to send an email because, as far as following up, because I'm able to type up all of the information I just discussed during the tour, aka rent, deposits, move-in procedure, application procedure. These are all things you talk about during the tour, but there's a chance that people have already taken 5 other tours that day and they're going to forget all of these details. And so I like to type it all up into an email and send it to them as a review and a refresher, so they have something to look back on, and they can remember the details about your specific apartment. So anyway, that's what I like to do with the follow-up. And then, of course, give the phone call. Give the phone call, especially if they're interested in applying, but then you haven't heard from them in a couple days. Give the phone call. Call them, check in on them, see if they're still interested in renting. If they no longer are interested in the property, ask them why. That's a great way. Ask them why. See if there's anything you could personally do to improve the actual property. Or sometimes they'll give you a response, something like, well, I found a place down the road that ... That will give you an opportunity to go shop that apartment and see for yourself why someone would choose that other apartment versus the one that you have at your complex. So ask them why, okay? And then, of course, after all of this and how to have a successful tour, one of the most important things is to document. I use Excel spreadsheets, or you can use Google Sheets if you want. But I document usually the name, the date, how they contacted me in the first place, when the tour was, if they rented, or why they weren't interested in renting. Okay. I like to document all this. Every day I update it, or after every tour I update it on a week-to-week basis, so that I can see week to week how many people are taking tours, or if they're not taking tours, why not, etc. So these are all of the keys for getting the tour, how to have a successful tour. One of the most important things, really to follow up, is to be friendly and be professional. You are a representation of Kosei International Properties. You are also a representation of your residents and of the property itself. So if you are friendly, clean, and professional, renters or potential renters are going to see that, and they're going to be attracted to that, and they're going to want to apply to your apartment complex. So anyway, this is the list. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.